Like most of us, you have your mind on the dreams that you want to accomplish, but you haven't started because you're not quite sure where to start or what to do. Hi, I'm Keisha Golder, and today I am going to share with you 5 reasons why you should start using goals today. Most, if not all of us, are familiar with to-do lists. And we're probably familiar with goals, we just really aren't sure how to implement them. While to-do lists are tasks that either someone else gives us or we give ourselves to complete something, but there's no specific goal to accomplish with completing the task. Goals are specific things that we look to accomplish. And each goal has a specific group of tasks that need to be completed before we can accomplish the end results, which is the bigger, larger goal. The first reason that goals help us achieve our dreams is because it gives us a direction. Most of us have these huge grand things that we want to complete, that we want to accomplish, that we know will make our lives so much better, and we'll be able to do things the way that we want to do them. But they're so large in our heads that it becomes overwhelming and we don't know where to start. So when we create goals, we are able to break down these large things into smaller portions and put tasks to each smaller portion that is going to help us achieve our goals. I'll use myself as an example. I decided that in addition to working a full-time job and mothering 2 lovely teenage and almost teenage boys, I was going to be an entrepreneur. In the beginning, it was overwhelming because tasks got mixed in together, and sometimes I didn't know whether I was coming or going. It wasn't until I started writing out goals, specific goals for each day in each area of my life. And I know you're probably thinking that seems like a lot, but when you have a lot going on, this helps you get through it a whole lot easier. So my daily tasks at work were broken down into goals and each thing that I needed to do to achieve that goal. Mothering my children, whether I had to help them with a project or I just felt that I needed to spend more time with them. All of these things were taken into account when I was creating my goals. And as far as my business, I needed to become clear what I wanted my business to be, how I wanted it to look, and all of these things. So I needed to create goals. My goal was to determine my business model, what type of business I wanted, who my ideal client was. These were all things that were goals of mine, and I had specific tasks to complete each one of them. Yes, it still was a lot of things that I needed to do, but it became easier because I had specific, definitive things that was leading to a specific, definitive outcome. So I was able to see, well, if I do this, I'm going to accomplish this, instead of just wandering aimlessly and doing things that weren't creating an outcome for me. The second reason that goals are important is because they help us identify the things that are important to us. Now, if you have been following me for some time, you know that I talk about identifying your values, because your values also identify what is important to you. So if you have identified your values, this reasoning for setting goals is easy for you to understand, because you know that when you are very clear on what you value, that propels you, that signifies everything that you will do to get what you value or to live the way that you value. So for me, my biggest value or my biggest values factor is being able to provide for my children. So that is the thing that drives me, to provide for my children. So my goals all equate to ways of me being able to provide for my children. You're going to look at my goals and you'll be like, okay, so she's going to do this, and that is a way for her to provide. She'll do this, that is a way for her to provide. And overall, you'll see that I'm providing. So when you learn goal setting, when you begin goal setting, you'll start to see a pattern of the things that are important to you, and it becomes clearer, especially if you have identified your core values, how these things can help you achieve your goals. The third way that goal setting helps us and is benefiting us, and why we should start, is because setting goals help you measure your progress. It's one thing to set a goal, to start doing the goal, and you are doing the goal, but you're not seeing that you're any closer to your outcome. You're doing the goal, but you're not realizing or feeling any different. So when you set goals, you're able to measure your progress. My coach always says, what gets measured gets managed. And that simply means, as long as I have a way to manage or measure my progress, I can manage it. So if I set a goal, and I'll use the example of purchasing a home. If I set a goal of purchasing a home, that is the larger established goal. That needs to be broken down into smaller goals. So one of those smaller goals will be to improve my credit score. And of course, I'm going to give myself a time to do that, a time frame to do that. I go and check in with this goal, and I see that 6 months have passed and I have done nothing to work towards this goal. That is my measuring of that goal. And then I know that I have to manage it better. I either have to, more than likely, you're going to have to start doing things that are going to get you to that goal, as opposed to extending the time period you give yourself to accomplish it. Another goal that is related to purchasing a home would be saving for a down payment. And I give myself a year to do that. 3 months in, I notice that I'm spending more and saving less. So I then have to look at areas that I'm spending more in. Why am I spending more? Have things happened emergency-wise that I needed to put more money out during these 3 months and haven't been able to save? So what you can measure gets managed. Goals allow us to manage our progress towards the overall outcome. Of course, goals help you stay motivated. When you wake up and you have your goals already written out, the things that you know that you need to accomplish, chances are you feel more excited to get your day started. The reason being, you know what you need to do. And if anything comes to throw you off of track, it doesn't matter, because you know what you need to do and you're able to hop right back on the track of those things. So you're not easily swayed. You're not easily deterred from accomplishing the things that you need to do. And lastly, goals keep us accountable. The first time that you achieved a goal, how did you feel? Satisfied, happy, fulfilled, right? So, and every time after that, the feeling got better. The reason that the feeling got better, or the reason that you continue to set goals and achieve them for yourself, is because you were going after that feeling, that amazing feeling of, I set out to do this thing and I did everything that I could to accomplish it. And in the end, I accomplished it. There's no better feeling in the world when you know that you put your mind to something and you're able to fully complete it, fully envision it, and feel it, and have the result at the end. So it keeps you accountable, because anytime that you're doing something and you don't get that feeling, it makes you take a step back and say, well, am I really doing something that I should be doing? Is this going to help me reach my goal? Is this going to help me live in my purpose? Is this going to give me my dream life? And if you're not getting those wonderful, bubbly feelings of self-fulfillment and accomplishment, the answer is no. So this is what I want for you to do. Simply take the time to like this video and share it. And if you feel up to it, tell me one goal that you want to accomplish this week. I look forward to talking to you guys soon.